Once upon a time, Bryant the Giant sat down on a mountaintop and began to cry. And his tears ran down his face so fast, pretty soon the river began to fill up and overflow.
Uh-oh, Bryant's crying again,
said one of the ants in the forest.
And my web is getting wet,
cried the spider. This was an emergency. The whole forest was in danger of being flooded. So all the animals gathered at Bryant's feet, and the lizard was appointed to slither up to his shoulder and talk to him. Now, Bryant, are these tears really necessary?
I'm crying because I'm the smallest giant that ever was. The smallest giant who's ever seen a smaller, more insignificant giant than I. My footstep is only 1 mile long. All the other giants cover 10 miles. I'm a disgrace.
No, you're not, Bryant.
You're a marvelous
Please
giant.
stop crying.
We love you.
Fellas, we gotta do something. My anthill just got washed away.
Something.
Quiet, you dumb bunny. This calls for psychology. You, Bryant, can you hear me?
What do you want? I'm too busy crying.
That's it, Bryant. You don't have to cry. Think of the time you're losing.
No, that's not the way. Listen, Bryant, you're looking at things all wrong. Being a giant depends on who's doing the looking.
Huh?
To a small, insignificant ant, a spider is a giant. A giant is a spider to an ant.
Yeah, to a small, insignificant spider. A lizard is a giant. A giant is a lizard to a spider.
Don't you get it? To a small, insignificant lizard, a rabbit is a giant. A giant is a rabbit to a lizard.
I'm a giant to the lizard. I get it. But to a small, insignificant rabbit, a tiger is a giant.
A giant is a tiger to a rabbit. You understand now, Bryant?
You mean everybody is a giant to somebody else?
Hey!
Too small, insignificant us. Bryant is a giant. You are a real giant to us, Bryant. And a good giant, too.
You mean you think I'm a real giant?
Sure.
Just because there might be bigger giants than you doesn't change the fact
That you are a giant.
So now you don't have to cry.
I guess Bryant was so busy feeling sorry for himself, he had never stopped to realize he really was a giant. From that day on, he stopped crying, and the animals would hear him singing as he walked through the forest.
Though I may be the smallest giant people can see, I am a giant, hooray for me. I will be happy the rest of my life. Ho, 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 ho.